the Nile River is probably not only the longest river in the world. When it overflowed its banks in June of every year, it was probably the widest river in the world.
Right.
And these people probably became masters at floating and using 2 feet of water to do what they do. And I've got a farm in Florida near a river, and there's some people will know about sinker cypress or pecky cypress. There's some old cypress that was has fallen, been buried in riverbanks, and it's very valuable stuff. Well, what people who are in that business, I don't think it's legal these days, but what they do traditionally is they go and spot these cypress logs that have been there for hundreds or thousands of years. They spot them during a dry season, mark them with a buoy of some kind, and when the river gets high, they float them out. The Egyptians did the same thing.
Now, just a curious note, being in Florida, have you made your way down to Ed Lee Skalman's Coral Castle?
I've heard good things about it. I have not seen the Coral Castle. I've taken a couple of video tours. And you recently went down there, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
What did you think of it?
Well, I was very curious on how he moved those stones. And, now that you're giving me these clues, I'm seeing, Ed did have his quarry right there next to it, which basically was a pit and maybe a Whidden cavity. I'll have to send you the pictures. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We'll have to get together and share that.
All right.
Hey, do you have any idea what the most famous rock quarry in the world might be?
No.
The Great Sphinx.
Oh, yeah?
The Great Sphinx sits in near proximity to the Great Pyramid.
Yes.
But it's 115 feet lower. You can do this with
That's
your Google
true.
search. We show you the base of the Great Pyramid, the Great Sphinx, is 115 feet lower than the Great Pyramid. And when I was there, I had a little fun with some of the people there because the Great Sphinx is commonly known as the largest single-cut rock sculpture in the world.
Right.
The largest freestanding rock sculpture in the world. And so I asked people, I said, well, how did they move it in here? Wow. And they go, you moron. It was already here.
Right.
They just cut the rock away.
That's right.
Well, the structure is 65 feet tall, and it's 115 feet lower than a structure that sits immediately adjacent to it. Where did all the rock go?
Yeah.
The rock that they cut away, where did it go? Looks like they stacked it right there.
I think they made a big pile of rocks.
Well, obviously. And some of this, it's simple science. The amazing part is the ancients have mystified us this long.
Right. Exactly.
The unique part is we've actually, with the water table, being under the Great Sphinx as it would have been a great source for water.
True.
And with the water table coming up from underneath, it explains the lower body erosion without head erosion to the stone.
Amazing.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Here's the funny thing, and I may date myself a little bit here with some of my just what we apply. If we were in the timber business today, if we were out in East Texas or somewhere harvesting timber, we would bring in big hydraulic equipment, trucks, and things of that nature. We would possibly start at the road, harvesting timber as we get going across from front to back to a tract of timber, moving towards the back of the timber. When we got finished with the tract of land, we would be finished.
Right.
In the old days, they would never do it that way because they were using donkeys and old-fashioned skidders. They would have trash and debris in their way trying to get to the road because every tree they laid down would be an obstacle for them to pass.
Right.
What they would do is go to the back of the track, fall timber away from the road, using the timber that's still standing to skid and lift the timber out. And they would start from the back, working to the front. When they got to the main road, they would be finished with the debris in their wake. What you would do is put snatch block in the trees and then skid your timber, you would pull on it and it would lift the front of the log and it would skid through the woods. And you would lift it and skid it, lift it and skid it. But you would need a center island, the trees, to skid your timber from back to front. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Well, the thing is, the Egyptians did the same thing. When they created their rock quarry, they left the center island for the same purpose. And when they got finished, they says, "What the heck are we going to do with that?"
Put a big head on it.
And they're going, "We're going to carve Freeman's face in it." You know, the great one to come. Well, so what they did, the unique thing is by going through what we do, we've created a seamless system of moving the rocks horizontal, vertical, where they came from, how they got there, and it works beautifully. And it's so agonizingly simple. We look at it and go, why have we missed this?
I am totally impressed with this concept. I can't wait to get down and dig deeper into SolomonSeries.com. We are just about out of time here. I was going to lead you in and kind of get a little bit about Solomon's Temple, but we don't have the time left. But you, using these techniques or knowing these techniques, have now been able to apply this knowledge to go and find other temples, right?
Yes, we have, because we discovered that some of the technology used would be technology used elsewhere. And we have actually found probably the only candidate for the actual Temple of Solomon, the first one ever built. Because when you study the ancient text, the biblical text, it says that when they completed Solomon's temple, Solomon married Pharaoh's daughter. And we said, oh no, they used the same engineering, type, style, and design. Once we understand how they did this, we'll recognize the quarry and the structure.
Well, we're going to have to get back with you next time to get deeper into that.
Well, hopefully we'll work out our phone issues.
Yes. But these
Freeman,
hours
I appreciate you having me.
Hey, it's been great, Ted, and I am going to do spend some time on SolomonSeries.com, and I'll have this linked up also to Freeman, the FreemanPerspective.blogspot.com. Hopefully we'll get it to FreemanTV.com, but right now I'm locked out of there. I need my own cavity to get into that thing. Ted, it's been fantastic. I'm astounded, and so many answers have come from you now that clear up a lot of the misunderstandings, and it's good to get the facts.
Well, Freeman, if I can help you any way, let me know, and I look forward to speaking to you again.
All right. Well, we will do that. Maybe I'll have you on. I will be starting a radio show here in Austin. It'll be on, I believe, 100.1, Saturday nights, 8 till 10, and it'll be live. You can phone in, talk to me. And I will have special guests like Ted Whidden and some others I've got lined up. And it's going to be really exciting. So Saturday nights, 8 to 10, you can find the Free Zone, Radio Freeman, on the air here in Austin and around the nation and on the internet. Or you can find me at Thursday night right here at 10 p.m., The Freeman Perspective. And we're going to have a fine, fantastic time. You know, contact me. It's Freeman, P.O. Box 4051, Austin, Texas, 78765. So that's Freeman, P.O. Box 4051, Austin, Texas, 78765.